Hello again and welcome to the inaugural National Planning Consultative Summit held out here at the Lae International Hotel, Lae in Morobe Province. Today marks a very important milestone for Morobe Province as they're hosting the first of its kind, the National Planning Consultative Summit. As right now we're about to witness the arrival of the Prime Minister, Honorable Peter O'Neill. And as you can hear from the background also, we've got sing groups who will be performing, showcasing the different cultures of Morobe Province. And today we'll see speakers, mainly the international speakers, together with other different stakeholders, and the other participants are here to participate at this very important summit. We've also have diplomats and also participants from the different government organizations, particularly the departmental heads who will be here to do their presentations, mainly looking at the 5 key priorities according to the Alatau Accord 2, mainly infrastructure, health, education, and also law and order. And yes, at this time we're waiting at the arrival of the Prime Minister, Honorable Peter O'Neill. And it's a 3-day event which will start today, and it will end on a Thursday. Very important topics to be discussed here at the summit, and it will mainly look at the economic growth of the country. We'll have speakers mainly to talk about the economy of the country, where we'll also hear from the governor of the Bank of Papua New Guinea, Loy Bakani, to give his presentation more on the state of the economy of Papua New Guinea, with other different stakeholders who will be here to do their presentation. And also from the Morobe provincial government, they hosted the welcome dinner last night, which was very formal, with most of the representatives or participants who were here to attend this summit attended this very important welcome dinner. And yes, the PM will be arriving soon, in a short while from now, as we're hearing the siren, which is coming closer to the National Lae International Hotel for this very important summit. As I said, it's the first of its kind for the national planning to host such a summit, and for Lae Morobe Province to play host of this very important summit, mainly looking at the economy of the country, as we now get to see the arrival of the Prime Minister, Honorable Peter O'Neill. And yes, it's the arrival of the Prime Minister, of course, has always been escorted by securities from the country. The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary will go ahead with the escort as we wait to see the arrival of the Prime Minister. A lovely day and a beautiful day out here in Lae City, as we always hear that Lae Ogaratami Saren, but not at this time. It's just a lovely, beautiful day out here at the Lae International Hotel. Yes, and going back again to the international speakers, we'll have speakers from Malaysia, and also speakers from India and Fiji, where they will come and give their presentation of the side-long economy, how the country Iwaklong developed through the economy, and also other different ways of earning money here abroad and also here in the country. One other subject too that we'll also get to see is the SME products being particularly for Morobe Province here. So as we see now and hear the cultural group, the Sing group, which are approaching the venue now. And also you can see the Prime Minister walking towards the hotel, where he'll be the main special guest for today. Yes, and with the Sing Sing group, also Mimi Harimpinis, Big Man Blongoli bin Tok Tok Long Disla, a very colorful Sing Sing group as always for any such big events, cultural groups and Sing Sings. Our traditions and our cultures are very important. These, they hold the life of each individual or Yumiat inside Long Country. So with their headdress, as you can see, the headdress here, it's a shape of a canoe with a very tall, long feathers, very colorful way of dancing. Now, online blong Morobe province at is same, this a true color blong all. Prime Minister have been escorted by the Minister for National Planning, Honorable Richard Maru. Yes, Prime Minister now walking to the main entrance of the Leh International Hotel, being escorted by the Minister for National Planning, Richard Maru, with other dignitaries who are here, Chief Secretary Isaac Lupari, and other governmental departmental heads are here for this National Planning Consultative Summit. Yes, and this summit will have the program as we just witnessed the Prime Minister, the arrival of the Prime Minister, and the program will begin with the welcome speech by the host province, Morobe Provincial Government, the Governor of Morobe, Honorable Ginson Saunu, and then straight after that we'll hear more from the Minister for National Planning and CIMC Chairman, Minister for National Planning, Richard Maru, to speak more about the objectives of the summit. Straight after that will be the official opening and keynote address by Prime Minister Honorable Peter O'Neill. And it seems like a hectic day for today with all other different presentations from the side of the government, and the chairperson will be Professor David Kavanamur. And one good other presentation that we'll all like to hear and see also will be the presentation of the critical role of the public service in driving inclusive economic growth, Ambassador Isaac Lupari, Chief Secretary to Government, and straight after that we'll have a presentation by Ms. Harry, Secretary Department of the National Planning and Monitoring, who will talk more about Papua New Guinea's development performance over the 43 years on. And another presentation straight after that will be from Mr. Paul Barker to talk more on the stages and characteristics of development. And the first international speaker for today we'll hear more from Dr. Martin Davis, who will talk more to us and do his presentation on the regional and global comparatives. This is the live coverage of the inaugural National Planning Consultative Summit held out here at the Leh International Hotel here in Leh, Morobe Province. And we hope that you can stay tuned and also watch NBC TV for the exclusive live broadcast of this very important summit, where we'll talk more. The presentations, of course, will deliver more on the economic growth, the economic growth of the country, and also livestock and agriculture, and more on agriculture, banks and SME, and the private sector. So it's a full day of presentations as we hear more from the different departmental heads to give their
Ladies and
presentations
gentlemen,
on
the Prime
the
Minister
different
of the independent state
sectors,
of
on the
Papua New
different
Guinea,
sectors
the
of
Honourable
the
Peter
country.
O'Neill.
Yes, and we'll continue with the broadcast, particularly for NBC Radio on 90.7 FM and also the medium wave band frequency of 585.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may
Well,
now
they will
take your
take the
seats.
broadcast right through.
Good morning
And
again,
yes,
everyone.
for now, we'll now take you across now to the Master of Ceremony for the program for today, Mr. Tokana Hasavi.
Brilliant weather, and I hope that this weather stays this way for the duration of this 3-day summit here in Ley City. From the onset, I'd like to welcome our Prime Minister, Honourable Peter O'Neill, also to our Minister for National Planning and Monitoring, Honourable Richard Maru, to the Minister for Education, Honourable Nick Kuman, other ministers that are present here, also to the Governor for Morobe, the Honourable Ginsen Saonu, who is the Governor for the host province of this 3-day summit, to the Chief Secretary to Government, Ambassador Isaac Lupari, to the National Planning and Monitoring Secretary, Ms. Hakawa Harry, to other departmental heads, heads from government agencies, also to our international speakers, to members of the diplomatic corps, representatives from Australia, New Zealand and Fiji, other dignitaries, our media fraternity who always do a good job in disseminating information on government initiatives, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome each and every one of you to the inaugural National Planning Consultative Summit. My name is Tokana Hasavi Jr., and it truly is an honor to be your Master of Ceremony for day one today. Basically, the program for today will be divided into 3 parts. We have the opening session, then we have session number 1, session number 2. But this summit, I'd like to talk a bit about it. Minister Maru has been very passionate about the way he perceives our country and where we should be going. I had a chat with him. He has been at the at the helm of spearheading this summit, and it's a very important 3-day summit for the country. It's taking an honest stocktake of where Papua New Guinea is today as an emerging economy in the world. We've come this far as an independent country after 43 years, but how far has Papua New Guinea established itself as a progressive economy from its infancy to where it is now? What are the main challenges that we've gone through? What are the hurdles that we've had to overcome and the lessons that we've learnt? We've indicated our grand plan, Vision 2050, on paper. But what is there to demonstrate? What have we done? What is there to show? Where are the statistics, the performance indicators that explain and clarify what we have done, what we are doing, and what we will do in the future to realize this national goal? Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all again this morning. We will open up with a word of prayer from the evangelist Reuben Akia, and then we will have the welcome speech, keynote speech by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon evangelist Reuben to come on stage to lead us with a word of prayer. Okay, we've had a bit of a switch, but it's a good thing that I called Evangelist Ruben on stage, because he will be leading us with the national anthem that we'll be singing. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries, I ask that we all stand for the national anthem of Papua New Guinea.
This is not the current national anthem. You have it on the paper. So if you have it in your seats where you're sitting, you can take them out. I'll give the note. It should be also on the screen, and we will start. Our land is the land of high mountains. 1, 2, sing. Our land is a land of high mountains, of sunlit palms and coral seas, where our people sing while the drums are beating, for our land is strong and free. Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, our motherland, every strive and race. Let us work together, united we shall stand. There's a bright new day dawning for our land, as every tribe and race unite. Sons and daughters arise, we'll advance together, we God to Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, our motherland, every tribe and race. Let us work together, united we shall stand. Thank you. If you turn the page, we will recite our pledge. Put your hands on your chest. We the people, 1, 2, start. We the people of Papua New Guinea, we pay homage to our cultural heritage, the source of our strength. Let ourselves united in one nation, we pledge to build a democratic society based on justice, equality, respect, prosperity of our people. We pledge to stand together as one people, one nation, one country. God bless Papua New Guinea.